Okay, so today I'm here to talk about Clever. And basically, Clever is a new program that we're using. I've been using it for several years here with middle school teachers and students. And I kind of first heard about this a few years ago when I went to a conference in California and I visited the vendor alley, and these guys were there promoting Clever. And I fell in love with it because basically it simplifies sign-ons. And at the middle school, we have so many different programs, and students often have to remember multiple usernames and passwords, and inevitably they forget them. They need them reset constantly. Teachers forget. I mean, it's not easy to keep track of. I know there's books that are put out there to save your passwords and add them in a book, which is probably the worst thing anybody could do, because if you lose that book, then you're out of luck kind of thing. So Clever simplifies all of that. There, it kind of takes away the requirement of remembering those usernames and passwords. So what is it? Basically, I just went over it, but there's three reasons, not just the single sign-on, but it also allows for a sync up with our Genesis Student Information System. That's SIS, so you may see that throughout the presentation. And basically what that means is every night, Clever talks to Genesis and finds out which students have left our district and which students have entered our district. And through that, it's then able to push to the programs that do work with Clever updates to the rosters inside of Clever and inside of those programs. So IXL is a perfect example. We actually are getting 2 new students starting. I think one's supposed to be today, one tomorrow in the middle school, and they don't exist in IXL as of right now. But once they are in Genesis, and then once 24 hours passes, Genesis will talk to Clever. Clever will update the rosters inside of Clever and then push that to IXL, and they'll automatically be added to whoever's math class or ELA class or social studies class that they're connected with. As long as it's entered correctly in Genesis, it will pass to Clever and pass to IXL correctly. That's basically how it works. Why is that so much better than the way we've been doing it? Well, the way we've been doing it, and I can tell you, Miss Weir holds Carrie from the intermediate school, whenever she gets a new student, she emails me and says, "Hi, Cian, can you add this new student?" So manually, I have to go in and I have to create an account and a username and a password and all of that for a student. This kind of takes away that, and it happens automatically. Much, much easier. Especially with a program like IXL and a lot of our other programs, we often have licenses that only give you so many licenses. So, and we always order more, but you know, Fort Lee, we get a lot of newbies throughout the year. We're still getting them in May this year. And if we don't remember to remove students who have left and then add them as we add the new ones, sometimes we found that we ran out of licenses as well. So that's just another thing that makes Clever more clever, I guess. And then, of course, there's a really nice interface portal that students and teachers have access to, and it's very visual. And I think for the kids, they like visual. I know I like visual much better. And they're just able to click on icons or pictures of programs instead of having to type in like email, website addresses and enter the usernames and passwords. This just goes over what I pretty much just said. So programs like Newsela, BrainPop is another one that we'll be syncing with throughout the district moving forward. WorldBook is already working district-wide inside of Clever, and that's an excellent resource that we have K through 12. IXL is also up and running as of this past Monday, I believe. We set it, Jason and myself set it up. And what's nice is Clever works the same whether you're in school, at home, on a Chromebook, on a Windows-based computer. You can use Clever even on a cell phone. I've logged in and done things from my cell phone as well. And it does take away the lists of passwords for every program. You sign into Clever, and then that through Clever, you pretty much have access to everything. As a teacher, what's also nice is you can log your entire class into or out of an app at once with a couple of clicks of a button. So basically that saves a lot of time of kids saying, "Oh, I can't get in, I can't do this." Well, you, the teacher, kind of take control and you just log them in or log them out. Rostering, we talked about this a little bit. It supports the SSO, single sign-on, and ensures that students and classes are automatically added to those programs and they're always up to date, always being updated overnight. This is kind of the first page that you'll see for the portal. And once I go to Clever, I'll show you what that looks like. But this is our like homepage for signing in. It says Fort Lee School District. You'll notice there's a login with Google button, which is one option to log into Clever. And the second option, which is great for younger students or special needs students, is our little badge. It's a QR code. If you're familiar with them, it's kind of like a crazy looking code. It takes a picture with a camera. You use a camera like on a Chromebook or even a cell phone. You hold it up to that QR code and it will automatically log students in without them even having to enter their Google, email address and password as well. So for the younger grades, we have it set up to where they just kind of the teacher can print out the QR code, the kid holds it up to their camera, and automatically they're logged into Clever. But we can use it with any grade level. 7th grade or above, it does require a PIN as an additional measure of security, I think because they believe that 7th through 12th graders are a little more crafty and they might exchange QR codes and things like that. Or if a student lost a QR code, you wouldn't want someone to just take that picture and be logging in as them. There's a lot more movement between classes from 7 to 12. So you could technically, if that were to happen, somebody wouldn't be able to get into the account with just the picture. They would have to enter a 6-digit PIN from 7th through 12th grade. The younger grades, it's not, we can set it up for that, but there's probably no need at younger grade levels. So there's 3 options for signing in. One, you could go to our direct dedicated link. We could probably post this on our school websites, individual schools, and also the district's website as well. So that's option 1, and it would bring you to this page. Option 2 is to use something called an extension in Google Chrome. And it looks like this. It's a little blue and might see. And if your extensions kind of live in the upper right-hand corner of your Chrome browser, you have a little puzzle piece here. You may not have noticed it, but if you hover, it says extensions. And if you click, you'll see a list of all the extensions that are installed. Clever has been installed by the district, so you don't have to go to the Chrome Web Store anymore. They did that last week for us so that everybody, students and teachers, administrators, all have that shortcut in their list of extensions. In order for you to see it in your shortcut list up here, you would want to click on the push pin, and that will make it appear up there or disappear. I like to keep it up there because I do use Clever often throughout the day. Option, so let's see, that was option 2. Option 3, and I'll demonstrate what it looks like when we actually click on it. Option 3 would be students also using the badge, which I talked about right here. They can hold the badge up to their camera and it would automatically log them in. This is a little video. I'll share this whole Google slide with you and you can watch the video, but I'm going to go over pretty much everything in it today. Basically, teachers are able to sign into all district apps through Clever. You'll be able to create your own resources and share with your students, meaning you can include links to websites that you're interested in sharing with your students, as well as other applications that maybe the district doesn't subscribe to, but that you use individually in your classroom. You'll also be able to assist students logging in with Clever, printing badges for your classes or for individual students. You'll be able to launch apps and also log everyone out of their apps out of Clever. And you'll be able to explore and kind of install free apps in your Clever portal as well, which is nice because you'll be able to learn about some new programs maybe that will help your students as well. When you log into Clever, you're going to land on your homeroom page. There's a lot of resources there. And then there are other types of pages. There are teacher pages, and you can make as many teacher pages as you want. You do not have to use these features if you don't want to, but they are there for you. And then there is the district page, and that's where all the district programs will be. There is a Help Academy and a Clever Academy. And if you want to get like 4 hours of PD, you can go to the Clever Academy link. I'll click on it so you can see. You enroll with an email address, and then very quickly you will get, like, they're 30-minute little blocks. They don't take 30 minutes to do, and you'll get 4 hours of PD, and it'll give you a certificate, and you'll even get a badge that you can include next to your email address in the tagline as well, saying you're a level 4 certified teacher. So that's kind of neat as well. So now let me show you. Once you click on Clever up here, let's come back over here, you would click on the extension. Let me log out so you can see what it looks like. And you would be brought to this page as well as your students. Now, students and yourself, the first time you go in here, you may have, it may not say log in with Google, it may say search for your school. So you would just start typing Fort Lee and all of our schools come up. So the intermediate school is listed there. You would select intermediate or Lewis F. Cole Middle School, and then it brings you to this login with Google page. You only have to do that one time, and then it will pretty much forever remember it as long as you do not delete Clever. And I don't think you can delete Clever anymore because the district has installed it and pushed it out. So when you right click on it, you can't uninstall it because it's been installed. So one time you only have to do that. Once you come here, you click on login with Google. And if you have multiple accounts, like I'm here, I'm on my personal Gmail. I put this here on purpose. A lot of students use their Chromebooks, even though they're not supposed to. They have their personal accounts as well as their school account. They have to use their school account. So they would just select their school email, and then automatically it would log them in. I have to select as an admin, and then I'll show you what it looks like as a student in a moment. So that's the admin panel. Let me just log in as a student. We'll take Gino from the middle school so you can see what it looks like. So as a student, this is exactly what it would look like. He would come in. Here would be all the resource categories that are available to him. These are his favorites. Favorites are added to this top category by coming down to any app and clicking on the heart, and it gets added up top. And then unclick on the heart to remove it from your favorites. And then we have categories. We have classroom apps, ELA apps, math, media center, science, social studies. I mean, I've added a lot already for the middle school. And I think the intermediate school has a lot of these as well that are available. Right now, we're really focusing on using it for IXL as the initial rollout, but feel free to test out any of these others. And then from here, the student just clicks on IXL. And in a matter of a second, they're logged in automatically. I see the name up at the top, Gino Lee, welcome, and they can start working right away in IXL. So basically, they're clicking on the extension, they click on login with Google, and then they click right here on whatever app they're looking to log into. That's it, automatic. A couple of other apps here that are working. I mean, middle school, we have a ton. We have WorldBook, though, that's also available. That logs in automatically. That's up and running for the intermediate school and the middle school. I also have Destiny available that's up and running for intermediate and middle school. And you'll see I'm logged into Gino's account. It automatically logged him in. Google Classroom will work as well. If I log in though with Classroom, it will log into my account for Classroom. BrainPop is working. I believe for at least the middle school, I think we transferred the intermediate school earlier in the year to BrainPop through Clever. It rosters so much better. If you many of our teachers were having a lot of problems. Jason and I worked on this at the beginning of the year when they were using the Google Classroom sync up with BrainPop. Not all of their students were syncing. So when we moved over to Clever, it solved that problem and we don't have that sync issue. All of the classes are in there, all of the students are in there, and we don't have any of those issues anymore. So Clever just made it a lot better. And BrainPop just put out an announcement yesterday saying that they now support co-teachers, which means as long as we set up the sync between Genesis and Clever properly, all of the collaborative teachers will now have access to those same classrooms as well. And we can add collaborative teachers in here. And we can do it manually, or we can do it with the syncing that happens overnight. And I did send Jason information today about the syncing overnight because it's a lot easier to do it that way. Right now, I've been doing it for the last couple of years. If a teacher says, oh, can you add my co-teacher? I just go on the back end and I add the teacher that way. But for district-wide, I wouldn't think that would be very efficient to do. I would think it would be much better to just sync at night through Genesis. So let's go over what you have in your teacher page. Let me log in as a teacher now. The student page is pretty simple. You may notice up here it says, what do you appreciate about your teachers? Clever told me they've been doing this for, I don't know if it's for the month, for the week, but basically it's for teacher appreciation. They would click here, they would send a note, type a note, put a little icon that says your teachers and parents may see this, so watch what you're saying. when I go into this teacher account, Stephanie, I'm going to use your account if you don't mind. You've been my demo account the whole time. Stephanie.
And when the student clicks on the Google Classroom app, do all of their Google Classrooms pop up?
Yep.
All of them.
Yeah, it logs them right into that main landing page with all their classrooms automatically, just like if they were to go to classroom.google.com.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Which
Thank
is
you.
nice. Yes.
And
Mark.
can you like hook up in like the Star 360 into this also?
I did that yesterday.
Okay.
I'll show you. I'll show you where it is in the teacher account. We'll log in and it works on the student side. So they do not have to remember, you don't have to remember Fortly 1, 2, 3 or whatever the heck it is. I don't remember. I did it on the back end. I put the passwords in. They only might have to enter that secondary key. I'm not sure yet. We'll try it now though with this kid. But you'll see, I'm in here, I'm in as a teacher first, then we'll go back and do it as a student. So now we're in here as a teacher, and right here we have Star 360. So let's see if it works for, share this tab, give it a second, and look, I'm in, and I can tell I'm in because it says Stephanie's name in the upper right-hand corner right there. That's how easy it was. So I set that up yesterday, and it wasn't difficult for me to set up. In the back end, we use saved passwords, so everybody has the same password. Teachers have one set, students have another set. It allows me to go in and differentiate and say, okay, teachers log in with this, students log in with that, and then it saves it for everybody. The only way it wouldn't work automatically and would need to be updated manually by you is if you've gone in and changed your password. That would be the only thing. But most teachers have not done that. They've just left it the standard one, so it works. And if that happens, then you would just have to hit update, save, and update the password. And the next time you logged in, it would remember the saved and updated password. Back over here. So Star 360 does work. That's good. So up here, you'll see, I'll just go through, we're on the homeroom tab, which is what it defaults to when you come in to your Clever landing page. We have a main page that they set up for you, then a Just You, and a district page. If you click on the district page, it's going to look pretty similar to Gino's page that we just saw. Basically the same apps, the same categories, more apps, Clever resources, all of that, okay? We go back to homeroom, we'll go to Stephanie's page that they did. This is a page she's sharing with her students. So each page, you can keep it private just for yourself, or feel free to share it with your students. So Stephanie has shared it with all students. You can edit the sharing settings to all students, one or more classes. So I could just select certain classes, or I can just share it with everybody, or I can make it an only you page that I'm the only one that would see that page. She has it shared with all students you teach, so I'll leave it like that, hit save. Right here, you can see underneath the refresh status, who's in through Clever. We have Josephina is in through Clever. We can message her by clicking here. We can download a badge, one of those badges that we saw earlier. We can look up a backend login code, which you would never really have to use. And you can view Josephina's profile, which gives you information about her family, phone number, email, contact for parent right here. And it has her student ID as well. And from here, you can click on an individual student. These students are all offline. Login tools are right here for all of the students. You can launch an app for everybody in this list. You can log everybody out. If you click launch an app, it brings up all of the apps, and you can launch one of these apps. And then you can log students out as well. And it happens in the classes tab. I'll show you that in a moment. What's nice about here is you can customize this page. You can come up here and rename the page title. You can even personalize and click on the icon. You can upload your own picture, change the color. All of that is available right there. And then you have all of these pages that you can add by coming to the green plus add in the lower right. You can add a category. You know, maybe you do like a do now category or something, and you're going to have a short clip of a video that a student will watch, and then they have to do some kind of reflection in an ELA or a social studies class or a science class. They watch a quick clip and they have to reflect. So you could title it do now, do nows, let's say, and then you could add resources like maybe a link to a Google Doc So if you have a Google Doc where you want them to type in their responses to the videos, you could pretty much paste that link to the Google Doc here, title it, you know, Do Now Google Doc, put the category under Do Nows, select an icon, and then add that link. That would show up. If there were a site where you wanted them to go and select videos, you could add the link, say, I want you to go to ScienceTube, search for a video on a current science, you know, discovery, watch the video, and then type in the document, that kind of thing. And you could list the links here by doing that. So that's the link. You can also add a PDF file, and you can also add apps. And you can see here that Stephanie has done that for her pre-algebra and pre-algebra honors. She's chosen these apps as apps for her page. Click on app, and you could search by name. So IXL, there's IXL right there. Pretty much any app will be there. Kimberly, Kim, you have a question?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding. So for Star 360, I could log the kids in and have it all ready to go before class even starts, right?
Once they're logged in, once they open up and go to Clever, you can log them all in.
Okay,
Just
cool.
tell them to click on Clever, and that's it.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep. Pretty easy to do. Here's newly added. That's a topic. You can highlight it and change that. You can also rearrange the topic order. If you want to move it up or down, move this one back up. She has that one up top, and kind of play around with it and move the Do Nows. You can delete your category just by hitting on the X and hit delete. And you can have as many categories, as many links underneath just by clicking over here. So that's pretty easy. If we go back to the main page, same thing in the Just You page. These are just resources that only you see, and there's no student sharing going on. So that might just be like the Genesis link to, you know, the teacher portal, maybe your DocuLivery, things like that, things that you don't want to have to go to FLBOE all the time and look for. You could put in here and customize it for yourself. And then, like I said, that's the district page. Next tab is messages. I can't go in and do anything with messages because I'm in a teacher account, but basically this is where you would be able to send and receive messages to your students. You can message everybody at once, or you can do messages to individual students in there. You have a library. I think this is one of the great features here. You can search and find new applications for your classroom, and you can search in so many different ways using the advanced filters. So if you come in here, you can search by grade, pricing, if you only want to see free applications, compatibility, do you want it to work in Chrome, and back, what happens, reload. I think I put in too many categories. Let's try it again. So you can search by device compatibility, free. You can change and add grades. Maybe you want all the apps that are available there, and you'll see Splash Learn is one. It's free. Khan Academy, free. PhET, interactive simulations. So if you're interested in an application, you click on it, and then it will give you teacher ratings. You can click and you can read all the different ratings by teachers, how they're using it, when they were rated, how often they use it, what grades they use it with. And then you'll see over here how many teachers in your school are using it. There's 3 in our school that are using PhET interactive simulations, and it even lists them. Elisa, Brian, and Angela are using them. And then there are 3 in the district if there were other people using them. And overall, how many teachers are using this through Clever? 22,000 teachers have made use of the Clever link to PhET and set it up. What's really nice about adding an application here, if you decide you like it, you'll be able to install it. When you install it, it will set up, if rostering is available, it will roster it and add all of your students automatically. So like if it has the ability to have classes and rosters, then it will do that because it's syncing with Clever and it knows your rosters from Clever. It will grab your rosters. So that's really nice. It makes it easy. Nobody else in the district really has to do that for you. You can do it on your own. You can also hit this little arrow and share it with your colleagues, all teachers in your grade, or you can go on and select individual teachers in your school just by searching. All of the teachers in your school will come up. I'm in the middle school right now, so I'm seeing all of the middle school teachers. And then you can write a little personal message. It'll also send them an email if you have that box checked, and you can share it out on social media as well. What else? These are just a little overview of what that is. So I love this for finding new applications. That's under the library tab right there. Analytics. This is neat because students, maybe you say, oh, I want you practicing IXL for 10 minutes 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And students say, yeah, I'm doing that. And you can go in IXL and run reports and kind of see things. But what I like here is this does it for the last 7 days. It's like a quick overview. What have your kids been doing for the last 7 days? So right here in the green, I can see that 62 have been active through Clever in applications, IXL and BrainPop, Glogster, and it even says within 2 days, 1 day, whatever it is, a day ago, whatever, right there. Flag Creator, that's one of Mr. Church's applications that I added. 28 have been active in the last 3 to 7 days. So you'll see the civics textbook was accessed, eHall Pass, different things like that. And then you have 91 that haven't been using Clever right there. So if you're saying to them, I want you to use Clever and log into IXL, you'll be able to see right here if they're doing it or not. You can also narrow by classes. So I can look at Stephanie's period 3 class only. It's 27 students, and I can see who's using Clever and what applications they're going in. I can even narrow by the application. I only want to see who's been using IXL. So if I go to all of her classes, here's everybody that's been using IXL. And then the last thing that I really like is this weekly overview. This gives you all the students. I have all classes. I can go to her Algebra 3 class, and it shows you a grid Friday to Thursday, the weekly overview, and it shows you what applications they've used on any given day. So this child is really using Clever a lot, and they're accessing multiple applications, BrainPop, Genesis, and McGraw-Hill Connect Ed, their math program, their math textbook, I believe. So I like the analytics because it kind of takes the guesswork out of whether or not the students are using the applications. Over here are all of your classes, and these are synced through Genesis nightly. So all of your classes are here. They're updated every single night. This is where you can launch an app for an entire class. So you can come into pre-algebra, you can click. All of the apps are here. I'm looking for the Star 360 little shortcut icon. There, I don't know, that's Learn 360. I don't see it here. Launch them. It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. The star, odd star, has many points on it right there. Launch Star 360, and it would launch it for your entire class, which is very easy. And then at the end, you can log everybody out by coming right back here and clicking here. If you click on the class, you'll see all the applications here, and you can launch from this view as well. You'll see how many students. You can log them out from here. You can click on a student, and they're not logged in right now. You would be able to see more detailed information. Oh, if you click, you'll see all of their private personal information, their student birth date, their primary contact, and phone number. And you have the ability to download the badge as well on this page. Up here is where you would download a class set of badges by clicking, and then it would open up a PDF file, and you would have all of your class badges that they could use with their camera if you would like. Back over here. You could change the name. So Stephanie looks like she's customized her class names. Did you do this, Stephanie? You went in and changed the names? So the names default to the Genesis names, which are sometimes very ugly and long. So you can click up here and customize the name. So instead of having FLMS, MPALG, pre-algebra 3, she just made it pre-algebra. And that was it. And you could put period, whatever. That's the classes. Over here, that's the appreciation tab that we saw on the student side before. And you can see Stephanie has 4 shout outs. I don't know if you knew that, Stephanie, but Nicola A said all of my teachers are really nice. Diora gave him an apple. Joelle said you are all wonderful teachers. Henry said, I appreciate that my teachers are helpful and patient. I as well enjoy their different teaching methods and advice. Thank you, teachers. So I thought that was a really nice feature that Clever put out for this week or month. It seems like it's more than a week. It's probably the month. I feel like we deserve a teacher appreciation month with the 1.5 years that we've had anyway. And Stephanie can reply if she wants. I'm not able to do it because I'm not actually Stephanie, but she could reply to that message, and she can click here to check for new messages. To the right, we have a global search. So anything you type in, it will search everything, whether it's student names, links, apps, anything that's there. So if I type in Kim, Students with the last name of Kim will show up. If I type in math, it will show any math. It says new resources, students. It basically will show you MATH, any names that have the letters MATH. So it's a really nice global search. I like that. It'll search everything, and then you can kind of go in and choose what you're looking for specifically. Here's the help. You can go to that Clever Academy, a whole help center. Any notifications from the district or from Clever about new apps would come up here. This is your profile. You can set up your email preferences, send feedback, all of that stuff. And this portal session will go back in as a student one more time just to see the STAR 360, because I know everybody's going to be delivering that soon. And I want to make sure to demonstrate that it is working. So if I come down here, I don't think I categorized it under assessment apps right there. STAR 360. Give it a second. And here we are, we're in Gino. Now, once they come in here and they click on math, are you inside your school? Yes. Let's click on geometry. I think there's another spot where they have to enter the monitor password still, you know, that separate password. I don't know what it is, but whatever that is, they will have to still enter, but they'll get into the main platform just through clicking on Clever. Let's see what else I wanted to talk about. I feel like I went over everything. This is on the students. He can download his badge. He can activate his badge. He can log out from here as well with the students. So what questions do you all have? That's good. It does support collaborative teachers. I mentioned that briefly in the beginning. I can kind of show you on the back end how I do it manually, but I'm hoping that Jason will change the upload so that that is supported. But basically, if I go into Stephanie, do you teach with anyone, Steph?
With Juliana.
Oh, Juliana, perfect. What period is that?
I think she's on there, periods 1 and 2.
Periods 1 and 2. What is it, pre-algebra or algebra honors?
Pre-algebra.
Pre-algebra. Oh, you have all these sections. So I don't, oh, there she is. She has been added. Okay, she is in there. Excellent. She comes up right in there. But let's say she wasn't. You can come over here to this section. And right here it says, I can, or Jason can, add co-teacher. And then we just search. And then right here, and then we say add co-teacher. Now, aides, we can add paras as well. They're not listed in Genesis as teachers, so they're not synced into classes. But what I've been doing is I go create a teacher, and then I create an account for the para. I just need the school that they're in, first name, last name, email, which I have, and then their individual ID, which I get from Genesis. They get their username. I leave username and password blank. And then we tested this with Stephen Dominguez, Mr. Dominguez, the other day. And Stephen, you were able to log in using Google, correct? He got in. He was the test. Yes. He was the test because he was staff and he wasn't automatically in here because he doesn't have any students. So we can manually upload staff. We can change some of the syncing too so that it comes from from Genesis. But Jason has to work on that end. I don't have access to the upload file that he's been sharing with Clever. So, but yeah, we can add them. I know I did that for Shannon and Katie this year. I added them on both sides. I added Katie to Shannon's classes and Shannon to Katie's classes. And what's nice is in Newsy LA, like that program, it syncs with Clever. And so it sees one of the aides, Alexa Ovali's aide. I added her to the classes as well. And now she's in there in Newsy LA as a teacher of Alexa and can see all of Alexa's work in Newsy LA, as well as being able to access all of it from Clever. So we can do it for paras, which is nice, not just teachers.
So we just have to request that from you?
Yeah, you can request it from me and I can do it manually for this year. And then hopefully going forward for next year, Jason will change the sync file. Over here is where we do our sync file. And right now it's an SFTP sync file that he's sharing with Genesis. So if he just needs to say, oh, sync this part of Genesis. It's an added column that he has to add. But yeah, you can tell me and I can manually do it for you for now. It's fine. Yep. Anybody have any questions, comments? Do we think that this will make life easier?
I have
I
a
hope so.
comment because we use it all the time.
Okay.
I know with those kids being remote and at home, a lot of the times the apps are there and they'll say, oh, you know, Edulastic is taking forever to load, or Edpuzzle's taking forever to load, when they just go in the browser and type in edulastic.com. And when I told them go through Clever, like it'll open it up automatically for them. It's like super quick. I don't know why it does that.
That's awesome.
If we are remote, or if students are remote, you know, come September, and you know that you have a lot of students that are having that issue, whether it's their Wi-Fi or because they're not using their school Chromebook or whatever it is, for some reason going through Clever, it makes it go so much quicker.
That's good.
Just as
Good to know.
a tidbit.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Because I know some of the teachers here have been using it for a while, which is nice. And, you know, just voluntarily using it. We just kind of have been piloting it here for the last few years. I thought it would make life easier. It's made life easier for me because I used to have to roster IXL and a lot of these programs, and that was a lot of time at the beginning of the year. So this year and last year, it kind of just happened automatically. So it's been very, very exciting. A lot easier to do it through Clever. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I think it's great, Cian. It does save a lot of time, and on the teacher side, I mean, I don't have classes either, but I know that sometimes there's a delay period when we get a new student and trying to get them into these programs that we teach with or use on a daily basis. And this definitely cuts down on all of that. So I think it's great. I think
That's something I want to say because
supervisors also, right? Sometimes you guys have to, Mark,
Yeah.
enter all of this too when there's a new program. So I know it saves you guys a lot of time as well.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, if you need help or you run into problems, you can always reach out to me. I'm available. So call me or email me. Either way, we're right next to each other.
And Cian, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this training. This is going to be very helpful. You've done a great job at the middle school and intermediate school getting this set up, and looking forward to having this be able to be distributed to the whole district. And thank you for your help.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.